Hey everyone, I'm the Bearded Zeno,
I'm Fozzie Dolphin.
and this is going to be our top 10 deaths on The Walking Dead. Now, these deaths aren't necessarily the best, they're not the worst, they're not the most emotional, it's just ones that made the biggest impact. Some of these deaths may totally suck, some of these may have brought us to tears. It's just in the order that they brought us the most impact.
Starting off with number 10, we have Shane. And most people consider Shane the first villain of The Walking Dead.
I do.
Yeah, and I think it's cool how he died. I didn't see Carl shooting him as a zombie coming.
Which is very similar to what happens in the comics. It just happens much later.
Yeah, it is surprising because everyone thought he'd die in Season 1, and he made it all the way to the end of Season 2.
It actually gives us one of the best moments from Season 2, especially in the latter half, which was a bit lacking, and it definitely is very memorable.
And his death pretty much directly leads to the Season 2 finale, where they get driven off the farm, so you could say that him dying is kind of what led them to the prison in the first place.
Yep. Number 9 is Andrea, and this is one of the ones on the list that's stupid. Why? Because Andrea in the comics is fucking awesome. Andrea in the show is fucking terrible.
And her in the comics is still alive.
Yeah, still alive. She's with Rick.
Only reason I like this death is because I didn't see it coming. Like, I did not think they would kill her off anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what the biggest impact is. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? I mean, Laurie Holden was a bit older than Andrea should have been, but I still liked her as the character. She was a good cast. They just wrote her terribly.
Yeah, she had terrible writing in Season 3, and I think they killed her just because they didn't know what to do with her, because they ruined her character and what she was supposed to be.
I mean, in the comics, she's a fucking awesome sniper.
Yeah.
And in the show, the only thing she ever shoots with a fucking sniper rifle is Daryl, and she just grazes him. Like, why? Why?
And just how she dies is stupid, because the governor's stuck in that room with, what's his name? The nerdy
Milton.
guy. Yeah, and she had so many chances to get out. And she just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
She kept pausing to talk to him instead of working on getting out like she should have been.
Yeah, this death was definitely very stupid, but left an impact, so that's why it's on the list.
Number 8, we have Beth. Oh, this was terrible.
Oh, God. A lot of people were upset by this death. I wasn't paying attention to this episode at all. This is one of the, those last couple episodes of Season 5 in the first half were just utter garbage.
I agree.
What I call the Beth saga.
Yeah, we both call it the Beth saga.
It was terrible. It was boring and just monotonous. And the only time it ever got a reaction from me is when Beth got shot. I was actually managing auctions on eBay. Like, I was bidding on shit on eBay on an iPad.
And it was dumb how she died because everyone was done. Like, they were all scot-free, no one died. And she just killed the officer woman for no reason, just for shits and giggles.
It was her own goddamn fault for dying.
Yeah, it was her own fault.
Yep. Yeah, so the reason it leaves an impact is because nobody really saw this coming and is also like, yay, that shit's finally over with. Number 7 is Sophia, and this is another one where the character is actually still alive to this day in the comics. And while she didn't really do jack shit in the show, she definitely could have been poised to evolve and change, just like her mom, Carol.
Yeah, she could have grown up with Carl, and we could see how a girl develops with the zombie apocalypse like we see Carl do. But no, didn't want to do that.
But her death did give us one of the most emotional moments in the Walking Dead period, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely of Season 2, it is one of the highlights of Season 2 is her walking out of that barn.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the most memorable things of Season 2, but I don't know if it was worth all the crap they put you through in the first half.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think it was, and I got sick of them trying to look for her.
Yeah, but it drives home the whole sense of the apocalypse, that all hope is lost, that like really anything can happen, you're fucked, you're doomed to die, pretty much.
It's true. Number 6, we have Gareth, but most people don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
They only say his name 2 or 3 times, but he's the leader of the cannibal people at Terminus, and they die in the 3rd episode of Season 5.
Which was way too soon.
Yeah, that's why it was so surprising, because we thought this would take up the first whole half of Season 5.
Not the Beth saga.
And they have the misleading trailer where you think they're going to work together and go to DC and all the bullshit they pulled. But no, the way him and his whole group died was amazing. And it came out of nowhere because no one thought they'd die that early.
Yeah, and the whole reveal of the red-handled machete and the way that he just chops him up to pieces.
They all get slaughtered. Ironically.
That was amazing. That was the high point of the first half of Season 5 for sure.
Definitely. It was surprising how much the writers made us hate all these people, even though we've only known them for 3 episodes.
Yeah, less than 90 minutes.
Yeah, and it was still incredibly satisfying to see the whole group just be slaughtered.
Number 5 is Lizzie. And talk about good writing here. They turned a character that nobody gave a fuck about into one of the most emotional moments on the show. I mean, there's been all kinds of memes and shit over, look at the flowers, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Keep calm, look at the flowers. But that whole episode where it's just Carol, Tyrese, Lizzie, and Mika, that whole thing is just awesome. You could also even replace Mika here with Lizzie. but I put Lizzie because she survives a little bit longer and she's troubled, and it's more her saga, and it's more sad for Carol to have to put her down.
Yeah, and the whole episode, I think it's like number 4 on our list for top episodes
Yeah.
ever. And I like it because it makes sense in the long run, because the whole season everyone's like, oh, this girl is crazy. Like, kind of in a joking way, but no, she ends up being like literally crazy, like psychotic.
Yep.
So it makes sense.
Definitely one of the most impacting deaths so far on the show.
Number 4, we have Dale, and I don't think either of us saw his death coming.
No, it really shocked me.
I think this episode started the trope the show is stuck to where if you have a character and you give them a ton of character development and give them all the special attention, it makes it obvious they're going to die later on that same episode.
Yep.
Because this really was a Dale episode. And he spends the whole episode trying to save the kid, Randall, from being executed.
Yeah, basically, the whole episode is him walking around trying to convince people.
Yeah.
Even has the meeting at the end. Then he storms out, and that's when he gets attacked by the walker that Carl let loose in the swamp. So, definitely another emotional high point from Season 2. Season 2 has a lot of really good deaths, I think. Yeah, I did not see this coming at all. And it's sad that Jeffrey DeMunn, I think that's the character, the actor's name, it's sad that he left because of...
Yeah, I was going to say that. He left because they fired Darabont.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, but oh well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really was a place for him at the prison anyways, because then they would have to get into the Andrea relationship, and I don't really like that anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have done with that if he would have kept on living.
This seems like the perfect place for Dale to die before they get to the prison, so...
I don't get how that walker tore through his chest like that when they're barely strong enough to push a door open, but by themselves at least.
He's a feeble old man.
Still,
he spends his days trying to fix the water hose.
That's true. Fix his fucking RV that always breaks.
Number 3 is Merle, and this is actually one of my favorite characters from the show, not because he's a racist asshole, because of Michael Rooker. I love Michael Rooker as an actor. Yeah. So when I first saw him pop up as Merle in episode 1, season 2, I'm like, I like this character immediately. I was always hoping he would come back because Michael Rooker is just such a great actor. Of course, he is the racist asshole, and he pretty much was a villain, or at least a henchman, for most of season 3. But this sorrowful life single-handedly redeemed him. This is another episode that turned a character that we all hate into a character that we felt for, just like with Lizzie.
I agree. I mean, this episode first came out, I got spoiled for me that he was going to die. I'm like, I got to come over, I got to see this episode with you to see how you react. And you called it like 15 minutes this episode. You're just like, bro's going to die, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's like, he's getting a moral center.
Yeah, they continue the trope of giving you all this character development. The same episode you die.
Yeah, but it was emotional seeing Daryl tear up and everything like that.
Oh, that was hard to watch. Daryl finding him like that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the biggest contribution to this episode.
No. If you don't know what we're talking about, look it up. Just talk it. Walking Dead. No.
He gets like 2 inches away from killing the governor too, because remember he has like a headshot on him, and the Alan's son, like Ben, gets in the way, and he dies instead.
He actually grazes the governor.
He does.
It goes through Ben, and the bullet ricochets, and he grazes him on the side.
Yeah, he did some decent damage to the governor's army just by himself.
Killed 8 men.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah, see? So he helped out the prison group a lot. Number 2, we have the governor, and I think people were waiting on this death for a long time. I mean, most people didn't even expect him to survive to season 4, and then he doesn't even die till halfway through season 4. But I think how he dies is perfect because everyone was wondering how would he die. Would it be against Rick, or be against Michonne, or be against Lily, like it was in the comics? But everybody was right.
All 3.
All 3 had a hand in him dying, which I thought was the best part about it.
Yep. Definitely one of the most satisfying moments on the show. For people who just casually enjoy the show, and for people who are hardcore fans who enjoy the comics and the show.
Yeah. And you actually care more about his death because they try to make you care for him again. And they try to make him be a decent person for a second. and his, the governor's saga at the end of the first half of season 4.
Yep.
No, he just goes batshit crazy again. But instead of completely hating him, I guess they convinced some people to, think he was a 2-dimensional villain, I guess.
He had some dimension. Well, he had some dimension in season 3 as well with Penny and all that good stuff.
That's true.
He's better than any Moreau villain. And number 1 is in the exact same fucking episode as the governor's death, and that is Hershel. This is one of the best moments ever to appear on this show.
I think it's the single best moment.
Yes.
And the single best episode.
Yes.
That we agreed on earlier, yeah.
The fact that Hershel gets to see Rick become what he tried to teach him to, that he was practicing what he taught him. He gets a smile on his face before he dies. That is just, that's awesome.
It's a perfect way for him to go out.
Yep. It's like, my job here is done. The fact they took Tyrese's death from the comics and gave it to Hershel, I think was the perfect move for the show. Made it way more impactful. Made it awesome and surprising for people who enjoy the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people were expecting, oh yeah, it's going to be Tyrese out there. But nope, it's Hershel. Nobody really saw that coming, and it was just a great emotional moment. There's a gif out there of just Hershel just staring and smiling at Rick. It's constantly like, that is art. That is beautiful.
And it's impactful because it leads to the fight that destroys a prison, and they can't use the prison anymore.
In that moment right before he cuts his head off, where the governor says, "Liar."
Yeah.
That
was
perfect.
That was chilling.
God, it's so good. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Let us know what you thought about this in the comments down below. Let us know what your favorite deaths are from The Walking Dead. And we will see you in the next video.